I think that's pretty good. Alright guys, is that too much game? Hello! Woo! Woo! Hello! Woo! Hello! Woo! Woo! Hello! 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 Arr! Arr! Audio's been calibrated. Let's delete that. Oh, I should have just kept it on. Welcome to Game Tato, and today is a very special episode, and it's discussing just the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, and just the best way to play those systems right now. Because even Nintendo's giving you finally emulated options that's really cool for the ecosystem. I wish Nintendo would have done this a long time ago, but it's here now in small quantities, if you can find it. I mean, these consoles, here's the back, here's the front, are just getting ridiculous to find, and it's just a pain in the ass. Sorry for getting out of the way, but I'm always getting scalped. I'm always working like a horse, so I don't got time to pick these up. So people scalp, and the problem is, if I wouldn't have bought a scalped Famicom, I wouldn't have one today. So people complain about scalpers, but you know what? I wouldn't have a console without these scalpers making their buck. I do think they charge too much, but that's what the market and the average price is on eBay, so that's what the price is, and there's nothing I can do about it. It sucks, but if you're a collector and you gotta have the item, and you're unable to go to the store because Nintendo just doesn't like to produce enough. Like every store in LA that I went to only had 10. GameStop had 15, one in Culver City, and that's just every store should have 100. Like I could have easily gotten one if they had 100 or even 50, and that would have been cool because they all still would have been gone by one. It just has me like why can't they do it? They know what the demand is, but I think it's because they want you to buy a Switch. And I've said this before in previous videos, but it's a pain in my ass, and I'm getting sick of this stuff. Now Hyperkin, they make, kind of, I don't know, it's not the highest quality goods, but if you can find them on sale, I paid $70 for this. And if you can't wait for an NES Classic, but you got some carts, and you got an old CRT or something, and you just want to play portable, this is a badass console. It's not the brightest or the sharpest on the screen that they provide, but I have fun playing Ghouls and Ghosts or Street Fighter 2, or any game I've thrown at Mario. It's great. Like, this is a great console, and if you can get it for like $70, like what I got it for, then shit, maybe this is a better option than the SNES Classic right now. Because Reggie asshole Fizumi, and I don't even mean to the guy, because I think he really is a great guy, and I talk shit. But Reggie, you know what the supply is. Like, you're the president. You don't make the games. You're the president. All you gotta do is know what the supply and demand is and where to ship the units. So underproducing, like, what the hell are you doing? And then there was a flood of Switches the very same day to stores. Like, online retailers had them, September 29th. There was a flood of Switches because people were going to try to get an SNES Classic and didn't want to get scalped, so they'd be like, oh, I don't want to pay $160. I'm not going to do that. I'll just, pony up and then get the Switch, because I've been wanting one anyway. Those have been hard to get. So I think they're just trying to get people to buy Switches. But that's some bullshit. It really is. Now I want to discuss another option that I think is better than buying a NES Classic. Had to set down my other beer. I hope the audio's not getting all jacked up. Really. But we got the AVS. Now this is what I want. Like, I wish that Retro USB would come out with the SNES AVS. I think this is the next mission on their mission statement, and I think Retro USB may be able to give us something, or analog. If they can make something like the NT, but a Super Nintendo version, I think this is what collectors and true hardcore mofos like myself are really gonna want. I mean, why wouldn't you want this sexiness? And you could put your EverDrives just like this. See your EverDrive? And there's the N64 one. But just imagine if I had the NES one with an adapter. That would be so mo freaking sweet. It really would be. So this is what I think is going to come soon. Like the SNES clone, but the true, accurate version. Because, you know, like I hope this just becomes a thing from Nintendo. Where they start producing these all year round. Because there's no excuse. Like, you got such a hit. There should be a mini. Hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry. I gotta grab stuff. I hope it's not messing up the audio. I don't think I am. But I'm sure it's gonna become a little gimmick. And they'll have their mini GameCubes, their mini N64s. You know, they're gonna have a mini version of everything. A GameCube, eventually a Wii. See, a Wii's gonna be a little more complicated because of the motion controls. I don't know if they're gonna do a mini-me. A mini-me, a mini-Wii. That sounds funny. They already did a mini-Wii. So they're gonna have to do a mini-Wii Classic Edition in like 2022. If that actually comes true, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because I'll have to be a rhyming ass foo. But I just think these mini consoles are cool, but the scalping's the problem, and it's all Nintendo's fault. It really is. You know what the demand is. You know it's about 10 times what you anticipate, and then you only produce the numbers to feed like 10%. It's pretty rough, and then the scalpers take advantage of everybody else because they're like, damn, I want it, I'm not going to be able to get it. And even if, imagine you paid the scalpers like $160 or $200, you had a Nintendo a whole year before they're going to reproduce it. I mean, that's crazy. It's probably going to be like a year and a month or a year and 2 months. So the money that you paid even to a scalper was worth it because you had the system that you're going to love and cherish and be able to play with your loved ones or your friends and have those nostalgic memories. And that's just amazing. But Nintendo's got to produce more. People have a severe love. They really do. Now what I would do, if you're not the most hardcore of gamer, try to pick up one of these. They're really good. If you just, if you don't have a Super Nintendo, this is what you want. They're small. They're sexy. I mean, look at this. I know it's kind of a bad size comparison, but look at this. I mean, this is almost the size of the box. I can't even imagine. I have not opened this mofo yet. This is an unopened Super Nintendo Mini. It's kind of crazy that I have not opened it. But that may be for the weekly pickups, and I may do just a motherfreaking unboxing. Like during, because I picked up so much stuff. I got some old Sega games. I actually picked up a NES game this week, even though it's a little rusty. I found some Dreamcast games. I found a lot of games. It's been a crazy week. I was trying not to spend no money, but then everything's so cheap, man. Some people just try to get rid of stuff, or thrift stores are just selling stuff like 2 for $1. It's like, damn, that's a good price. So, don't buy this unless you're a hardcore collector. You gotta have it now. But the problem is, one of these is already $100, and if you want HD out of it, then you gotta buy an upscaler, which is probably gonna be, what the hell is that shit called? I want to call it a Syncmaster, but that's my Samsung Syncmaster. It's the FrameMeister. You want the FrameMeister. But that's a $330 upscaler, and a lot of people even try to scalp the upscaler. What the hell? So everything's getting scalped right now, and that can even go for more than $400. And then you gotta do an RGB mod to this thing. So you almost have to be handy or know someone that knows how to solder. So it's not a good option for a novice person. Plus you gotta learn what RGB is and SCART and get a switch box in order to upscale. And that probably sounds just like nonsense that I'm speaking. So I don't want to hold this upside down, but this is a good option for somebody that just wants to play HD. Right now, no mods, you get all the games, you don't gotta buy the cartridge, you don't gotta do no bullshit. It's just really good. Plus, it's officially made by Nintendo. So I'm sure that's a huge deal to a lot of people that it's a genuine product. The SNES Clan Classic, that just sounds so wrong. The SNES Classic has all the games that you want, 21 of the best, and even Star Fox 2. It's got Earthbound, which easily goes for 100 nowadays. Chrono Trigger likes to go from 60 to 100. I mean, you can easily pay 60 to 100 for you can easily pay 60 to 100 for a Super Metroid. I mean, there are just exorbitant prices for a lot of these cards. So I think the SNES Classic, even though it may be scalped, is still a good deal. And I hope stores and retailers in the next week can try to restock, because it's just ridiculous. And all of us are fans. We love Nintendo. We don't want to be outraged. We just want to play these games with our friends and family. And I hope there's more options so people have more room to get, you know, different clone consoles like the Retro USB or the Analog NT, or even the mother freaking, god damn it, it's the Hyperkin Retron one. Why could I not remember that? I had to go look at it. But I wish there was more options for a Super Nintendo right now. Because right now you got a Super Nintendo, you mod it, you put a SCART connector on it, then you gotta upgrade it, you gotta upscale it. Man, I'm just fucking up. Am I too drunk? I don't even get it. It's just a very complicated process to update a Super Nintendo to get it HD. And then, problem with the Superboy S is it doesn't even have an HD output, so it's not a true HD option. It's not even that. It's really just a good portable option. And if you have an old CRT, you can plug in 2 controllers and plug it into that old TV, and it's good. But the SNES Classic is the only real option for somebody that don't want to bullshit and they just want to easy play with their friends or family. And that's bullshit that Nintendo's not producing enough, but I know if they just keep doing it, I'll take all this back in the future. If they can just keep rolling them out to the stores, and then the price goes down because scalpers are unable to keep the scarcity and buy them all, then that would be really awesome. But you know what? We'll see what happens, and I love the Super Nintendo Classic, even though I haven't opened it. I'm about to have some fun. I'm going to play some right now, and I'll see you later. Game Tato. Peace. Like and subscribe. Please. I really need it. I'll suck you or whatever. Peace.
Plunger with dynamite.